Yo, what is up? My name is Lexi, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to actually improve at Brawlhalla, right? This doesn't matter if you're a new player, if you're an advanced player, right? It doesn't matter your elo, this is going to help you, right? No matter where you are. So, first off, let's just talk about mains, right? Doesn't matter what skill level you are, you should find a main, right? For me, I like to play Lance, so I'm sticking with Olgrim. That's who my main is, right? How I figured that out was I was like bronze or silver. I queued a lot of Scarlet 6 spammers, so I played Scarlet. And then when I was like 18, 1700, I switched to Olgrim because I wanted a more tanky build. That's how I found a main, right? I did not care about the meta. I do not care about the balance patches, anything like that. I just found a legend who I was like, you know what? I can't beat this guy. I'm gonna pick them. And then later on, I switched to the stats I like better, right? So realistically, just go in, find whatever legend you like the most, whoever you have the most fun on, right? Or whoever you can't beat, right? Just stick with that one legend, right? So Wushang, you know, if you can't beat the Wushang 6 spammers or like the extended Wushang, I don't have them, but you know, like just a skin on them, right? That can literally be it. If you just like a skin on a legend, just pick the legend. You want to look cool, pick the legend, right? If you like Rayman and you like the Barbara skin, or if you like just Rayman in general, or just if you like SpongeBob, right? Just find a legend you like, right? It doesn't matter, and just stick to that one legend. So for me, that's gonna be Olgrim, and yeah, that's literally all you need to do is find a main. Just find whoever you like the most, whoever you have the most fun on. Don't worry about, oh, this legend isn't good and, you know, I can't improve because this legend. The legend's never going to hold you back, right? Don't let your mental hold you back either, right? Just find a legend you like, play that one legend, stick to that one legend. Alright, secondly, we're going to training room. We're actually going to talk about what to do once you have a main, right? Stats, basically, just go with whatever stat you like the most of. For Olgrim, it's pretty, like, everyone uses every stat at this point. But I like strength. I also like speed. That's usually what I go for. Right? Usually the word of advice is go off whatever takes away from Dex. Anyway. So yeah. In training room, set the ball over here to the middle of the stage. Turn on damage reset, position reset. Show stun is really important to have that on. Right? And here's the main thing, right? If you just want to improve really fast at Brawl, right? I'm going to tell you the main things you need to know. For your weapons, you need to know the main consistent true combos, right? What that means is if I'm playing Lance, I'm only going to go for Starlight Dare and Starlight Nair, right? There's a lot of our true combos on Lance, right? There's, you know, the Nair Sair, the Nair Recovery combos, and those are really good, right? And you can learn those. But what I recommend, like, if you're a new player or even if you're like low diamond, would I even recommend going for these combos? No, right? You don't even need to learn them. I'm trying to like set it up against the bot right now, right? Like, that combo, you don't need to learn that. You don't need to learn that unless you're, like, already really good at this weapon. You know how to set up for the Nair, right? And hit that combo. Realistically, all you need is the main true combos, right? On Lance, Starlight Dare, Starlight Nair. If I'm playing Axe, Starlight D-Light, and Starlight Nair, right? Those are going to be the main true combos, right? You also have the Dare into D-Light. I hit that one frame, but that is a true combo, right? That's another true combo you can have on Axe. And that's all you need. I'll pick a random legend here, right? If you're on Wushang, right, Gauntlets, D-Light, Starlight is going to be your main true combo, right? On Spear, it's going to be like D-Light, Sair, right? There's my true combos. You also have stuff like Sair into Enlight, which you can get true, right? Yeah, like if you're it doesn't matter. Like if you're low diamond, you don't need to learn like that combo, right? You don't need to learn how to do the D-Light recovery combo. Right? You can learn this later, right? When you get better at the game, when you get used to inputting stuff, right? Especially once you get familiar with true combos, that's when I'll go for those kind of stuff, right? Really just simplify it, right? The main takeaway I want you to get used to whenever you're playing this game is a lot of it comes down to the very basics, right? The main way to improve at this game is the bare basics of this game, right? The fundamentals is what's really important, right? So don't overcomplicate things. Don't go for this advanced stuff. You don't need that, right? Until you are very high level. Okay, so going off of that, next thing we're going to be talking about is just movement, right? What's all the movement we need to know in this game, all right? Here's what you need to practice, right? First thing, dashing, right? Get really used to dashing. This is really important. You can do a forward dash and you can do a back dash. Get used to dash dancing, right? That's like a combined movement, right? You have dash dancing, get used to this. Also, with dashing, right, if you look, like, this dash has a lot of momentum going forward, right? I go, like, almost, like, to the middle of the stage from the back of the stage here, right? That's a lot of momentum. Get used to doing half dashing, right? Or, like, a dash cancel is what it's called, right? Especially if you're a greatsword main, like, later on, you're gonna be able to do stuff like, this. Let's say, like, you're on Arcadia. If you know how to dash cancel, you can do combos like this, right? It's really nice if you know how to do that, right? If you're able to dodge cancel, you can set up for, like, really cool strings. Get used to dash canceling, right? It's good for string setups. It's also really good as an approach option in general, right? Like, if my opponent's over here in, like, the middle of the stage, right? And I'm over here. And let's just say they're on, yeah, let's say they're on gauntlets, right? Let's just say they're on gauntlets, and I'm on lance, right? If I run directly into my opponent with a dash, they might choose to just sidelight me straight up, right? They're like, oh, he's dashing in, I'm gonna sidelight to cover him, right? And if I get hit by sidelight, then, you know, GG's, I just got hit. So, instead, if I do a half dash, it makes it look like I'm dashing in, and so my opponent might get scared enough to where they do a Sarah after half dashing in, and then I can Sarah them back, right? Or not Sarah, they do a sidelight and then I Sarah them back, right? So dash in, they sidelight, I jump Sarah as a punish. That can be an example of just how to use half dashing. That also goes for stutter stepping too, right? This is just tapping forward. This puts pressure on your opponent and essentially makes them, like, ask, like, what am I doing, right? What am I about to do? Am I about to, like, just dash in like you? Am I about to, like, you know, like, dash forward, dash back, right? I can do a lot of things here just by star stepping forward. This gets me closer to my opponent, right? I'm still in a good position, right? I can set up for my true combos. So yeah, get used to star stepping. A tip for controller players specifically, if you use joystick, like me, sometimes I actually switch from joystick to D-pad to input stuff, right? I really like stutter stepping with my D-pad here, just because I can tap this faster compared to, like, moving my joystick, right? So sometimes I switch to D-pad just to do this, right? And I'll play on D-pad for a little bit. So, like, if you know how to do that, right? I'm not, like, the best at D-pad, right? Like, just, like, me inputting movement, right? I can do some decent stuff, right? The main thing is I can hit my true combos on D-pad, right? If I'm playing on D-pad, right? Sidelight there, sidelight there. That's really important, right? I can obviously dash in, right? So I'm pretty decent at D-pad, right? If you're good at that, right? If you know how to do that, you can start doing movements, right? Like stutter stepping stuff on D-pad. And you can play on D-pad for a second, right? And then while I'm in this, like, true combo animation, I already switched to joystick, right? I'm already back to joystick. So if you're a joystick player, that's something you can do on controller. I don't know how many people do that. That's just something I do, right? I just like to do it for stutter stepping and stuff. But yeah. Star stepping is really important. Empty options is really important. This gives you options, right? You can use all your aerial options. So, like, I can be, like, empty hopping here. I can land with a Nair. I can land with a D-Light on Lance, right? I can be over here. I can do a Sair, right? Or I can do a dash in light. Right? So empty hopping is really important. Going off of dashing, you also have dash jumping, right? You dash forward, you jump, right? You're able to do a dash jump instead of dashing forward. Now you dash and jump in the air, right? You also have fast falling. You can fast fall at any point during your jump, so get used to trying to do this as low as possible, right? And you can add that to dash jumping. You can dash jump, fast fall, like this, right? And then going off of that, you have ledge cancels. That's why I switched this map out, so I can do some ledge cancels, right? Basically, you just time this right? When you get close to the ledge, you can just dash on the ledge, and it'll cancel the animation, like this little landing animation. You cancel that and instantly do a dash. You have to do the timing just right. I'm kind of messing up here, right? Just make sure your timing's right. You can get this really consistent, right? You can even dash off the platform like this. You do like a little dash, and then I just diagonally dash back, right? So I fast fall through the platform and dash back, right? You can do that for, like, for example, I could, like, approach this bot. I could do, like, a dash jump, or, like, a jump into this, for example, or I could even do, like, a... If I think they're gonna, like, dash in, I could, like, do that and cover that area with a Sair, right? I can even do, like, dash here, dash back like that, right? Maybe someone's, like, stacked here, like they're coming back to stage, and then I do, like, this. I don't know, just like, in examples. I'm just showing how you can use movement, how you can use, like, ledge cancels here. I can even ledge cancel this platform here, right? During stocks, like, after I take a stock, I do, like, this little motion, right? Where I go back and forth, just to practice ledge canceling, get the timing down, right? This is something you can do. But yeah, going off of ledge canceling, you also have just ground canceling, right? Or snapping, right? Basically, all you do is just when you're close to the ground, if you do a dash, you can snap, teleport straight to the ground instead of doing this landing animation. And you just start dashing on the ground. It's really good because your opponent cannot tell where you're going, right? I could either go back or I could go forward right into them, right? They won't be able to tell the difference, right? So, get really used to snapping. It's really good. But yeah, that's the main movement options. Those are like the big ones you really should start thinking about learning. I talk a lot more about movement options in the movement guide I made, so you can go watch that one. That one's pretty good. It will go over like a bunch of the other movement options. It'll also recap a lot of the stuff we went over here. So yeah, get used to a lot of different movement options like that. I'm just kind of going over like the bare essential ones. Just practice in training room. So we just talked about how to use training room for true combos and for movement, right? So let's go to the next part, right? Let's go to actual gameplay, right? Let's talk about, like, when we're in a match, what should we be doing? All right, and here I'm going to hit you with the hard, cold truth about Brawlhalla. All right, so if you are under 2,500, and yes, I do mean if you are under 2,500, I mean from the beginning, like 0, or I guess 200 elo, whatever the lowest elo you can get is, 200 elo, all the way to, like, 24.99. Right? Even past it, like even in 2,500 and higher, the same stuff applies, right? But especially below 2,500, this stuff heavily applies, right? Most, if not every single opponent you fight is just going to run at you with an attack. They are constantly going to be missing, right? And if you don't think so, it's because you're not watching your replays and looking at what your opponent's doing, right? Because I can assure you, every single replay I have ever seen in that elo, people just run in an attack. Literally 99.99% of every single game I have ever watched has just been people running in, missing, right? And the reason people lose is because they're also missing and constantly running in and attacking, right? And this goes for every single elo, especially below 2,500, right? If you've ever seen, I know there's a ton of videos out there that tell you, you know, wait for your opponent to miss, punish them, right? And people take that advice, and they don't believe it, right? I mean, they'll believe it up to, like, you know, probably, like, high diamond, right? Because it works very well for them, but, you know, some people don't. And the reason why is because you aren't looking at your replays, and you aren't realizing, wait a minute, if I just sat and waited and punished them for missing, I would have won this game. Right, and I mean that. I'm telling you, I mean that 100%. So what I mean by that, right? Well, let's actually talk about gameplay. Let's talk about sort of like our own game plan, right? Here's what I want you guys to think about when you're playing a game, right? Let's put them on guitars first, right? I'm on Lancer on guitars, right? If I'm positioned well, right, and what that means is, if I make sure I'm positioned in a spot where if they miss, I can punish them, right? So I don't want to be like right here because they can hit me. But if I'm like over here, they can't really hit me. If they were to go for a move, like let's say in light, D light, right, side light, any of those moves, I can easily just side light punish them. I can easily poke them with an in light. I can easily hit them with D light if I need to, right? So I have access to all those options, right? If I'm standing like over here. So this is a good situation for me to be in, just standing here. All I'm going to do is just wait for them to miss. Right? And I always want to make sure I'm in a good position to punish them for when they miss. I don't want to get too close to where I constantly get hit, and I don't want to be so far away where I literally can't punish anything. Right? And let's say like you get set in the air or anything like that, or you're off stage, whatever the case is. This same stuff applies, right? A lot of people that get set in the air and they try to fast fall instantly into their opponent. You don't have to. Never feel pressured to go straight into your opponent. Like if you get sent, like let's just say I get sent off stage, right? I'm just gonna go here, recover straight up, right? Jump a few bit, whatever. I'm in the stage. I'm going to spend this time up here just getting myself in a better situation, right? I'm not going to land onto my opponent. I'm not going to fast fall instantly if I don't have to. I can move here, right? It does not matter, right? The best way I like to say this is players are essentially on a timer, right? People are on a timer on when they feel like they have to attack, and you need to break that. You don't want to be in that cycle of just sitting here and feel like, let's say, like, every 3 seconds, you're just going in for an attack, right? Like, you don't need to. Like, nothing's happening, then, oh, all of a sudden, I'm going to dash in light, right? If you don't need to, right? If it'll hit, then yeah, sure, go for it. If it's a guaranteed hit, don't just always feel the need to, like, rush in with a side light or something when you don't have to, right? If it is not a confirmed punish, if it is not going to 100% hit your opponent, do not go for it. I mean that, right? Even in the air. Right? If you can land, you know, like a lot of people try to land with like a dare on lance. If this ain't gonna hit, don't go for it. The only reason you should ever go for a dare is if it's either going to hit 100% or you know it's safe enough to where like over here, like I can do this dare and I cannot get hit for this. This Ragnar cannot do anything to hit me with this. If they try to go for side sig, I'm too far away for their side sig. Doesn't matter. They cannot hit me for this. So this dare is like pretty fine, right? That would count as a bait option, right? We're not even going to talk about baiting, because you don't really need baiting right now, right? Hey, I'm going to be honest with you. If you're under 2,500, you don't need baiting. You don't need to bait anyone. You can just sit in a good position, wait for them to miss, punish them, right? And yeah, I'm just bringing it in the air, like, don't land into them. Just constantly think about this distance you want to be, alright? And every weapon's a little bit different, right? Just get used to, like, how weapons hit. Look for the weaknesses, right? If we're talking guitars, right? Like, I can sit here pretty safe. I can sit here pretty safe. I can be above it pretty safe, right? Its recovery's a diagonal, right? If we're talking about axe, right? I don't want to be sitting here, right? I don't want to be sitting here, right? I don't want to be, like, directly above it here and, like, directly below it here, so I get hit by, like, nairs and dares, right? I could be, like, kind of above it here a little bit, right? Just think about where you can position yourself, right? Where you can be. Where's the safe spot for you, right? If I'm against Axe and I'm on Lance, I probably want to be about here, right? My Lance has a good horizontal range, so I want to make sure I'm in a good horizontal range to punish them for missing, right? If I'm against, like, pretty much every weapon, I want to be in, like, this situation. If I'm against bow, I have to think a little bit about that D-light. So a lot of times I might play a little more MTOP. I might even stay a little bit more back because I'm going to think about, like, that bow D-light, right? And maybe sometimes I'll, like, position myself. Maybe sometimes I'll try to get stacked to hit a D-light against bow, right? Like, play kind of stacked into it. Get that D-light in. Or, like, a nair in against bow, right? Just think about where the best place to position is, right? 9 times out of 10, right? I usually like to just stay about the stash away. I recommend to a lot of players, if you're newer to the game, get used to being about a dash away from your opponent, right? It essentially just puts a big wall in front of your opponent. You guys both have ground, right? You let your opponent miss, you punish them, right? That's usually, like, the best way to get to diamond, is just staying in that range, right? Just keep a dash away. That's all you need to do. And I mean keep a dash away. Do not go stalking your opponent out. Do not run into your opponent. Don't just wake up against your opponent randomly, right? You don't need to do that. Okay. So yeah, let's actually talk about real match. I'm going to go back to the Ragnar. We're talking about guitars. So let's do guitars. All right, I'm just going to set the bot to Chosen. And literally what I mean, right? Stay a dash away, right? After you hit your opponent with your confirmed, get away after they miss, right? Don't go for more. Just back away in case they wake up, right? And just stay a dash away, right? Let your opponent run into you. Let them miss, right? Boom. That's the stock. Like, that was a really quick stock. And I know this is like a bot, but I'm telling you, people in your games will do this stuff, right? There's plenty, like, even if you're like 2,200, there are players who will do this exact thing, especially guitar players. I'm going to be honest, guitar players are like the most aggressive type of players. I know guitar players will do this in your games, right? So yeah, let's just go over it, right? I'm going to go frame by frame here. So the Ragnar did a Sarah, and I'm like, okay, I'm away from the Sarah. I'm going to go for Sidelight Dare. I'm going to back away after I do Sidelight Dare, because that's my confirmed punish, right? This Ragnar decides to do a GC Sidelight, right? If your weapon has a confirmed string, you can learn that too, right? So for Lance, because he did a GC Sidelight, I'm going to do Sidelight Dare and Light. That's one frame, right? I'm just going to stay a dash away, right? He does the same thing again. So, waiting, misses again. I go for Sidelight Nair, right? Sidelights to me again. There, GC Sidelight. Now I have Sidelight Sarah confirmed. Okay, so I just looked for just a random replay. We're just going to look at it, and I'm just going to show you exactly what I mean, right? So, let's go here. Alright, and all I'm going to look at is just when they get hit, right? Like right here. Right? Let's see why this player gets hit, right? So they do a Nair. This Nair isn't confirmed, by the way. This Nair just isn't confirmed, right? They missed a Sidelight. They get away, which is good, right? You shouldn't be missing that move, right? You shouldn't be going for that Sidelight there, but hey, you at least avoid it. They do a Sidelight, right? They try to land with the Snare. It's just not confirmed. They don't have enough time to hit this confirmed. So the Snare isn't a good option, right? And so you get landed on and punished for it. It's a bad option, right? Right here, this overextension, right? They try to go for this dash jump Nair, right? So you just Sidelight Dare that for free, right? Goes for a confirm, but goes for an inlight, right? Pretty safe moves, right? Lands directly stacked. They miss this move, and then they decide, oh, I'm going to land stacked, when they could have just walked backwards. So they get hit by this inlight for walking in, right? Look for just another time they get hit. Right here. Why did they get hit? Oh, look, they ran into them, right? There's no point to do that dash in. You shouldn't have run into your opponent like that. The dare was to try to punish this Sig. Just wasn't set up properly, right? Better option is you could like turn around Nair probably. I think you can like fast fall into like a turnaround Nair, I believe. Right. But yeah, they missed a move to get punished for it. They ran in. They almost got punished for it. At least they did it. And ran in again. Like, ran in with this move, ran in with this side, like, got punished for it. Right? Too close. Right, you can see here, like, this player right here, like, they get in, they back away instantly. Because they don't want to get close. Right? That was a bad dare, they get punished for it. Right? Let's go right here. Right? What did they do wrong here? They missed the snare, got set for a punish. Right? Dodged in, got caught for it. Right? Even here, like, you see how they don't get hit here? Look, they fast fall away, they avoid the recovery, get to the ground, and they even back away to stay that dash away. Right? They tried to punish, it just didn't work. They went for bad punishes, and they got hit for it. Right? But literally, that first stock is just like, all it was the same two mistakes. Running in, going for options that you don't need to. Slow yourself down. Look at all those attacks that were going off. You don't need to go for those attacks. You can just wait. You just have to wait. Right? Let your opponent mess up. Punish them. Like, literally, that is all you have to do. And that will take you to basically any elo. Right? And I know it's the most basic advice, but I'm telling you, it works. Okay? Really apply it. Really just think about it, right? Go into games. Think about this. Try not to miss an attack. You want to have 100% attack accuracy. And then, right, don't overdo your movement. Make sure when you're moving, you have a reason behind it, right? You don't need to overcomplicate movement. Just simple. Keep yourself in a good position. Go for the punishes when they come to you, right? And if you're not sure if something's going to hit, you don't have to go for it. Only go for it when it's 100% guaranteed to hit. That's all you need, all right? And yeah, when you do that with one legend, right, when you have that one main, you're able to apply that, right, to that one legend. You're going to get way better than everyone else, because instead of learning all these different weapons, setting yourself up in different positions on these weapons, getting used to how each weapon works, you have two weapons, you learn how to punish those two weapons, you have the SIGs that you learn how to punish with, right, you're golden. You know how that one legend works, right, you get to spend more times on the fundamentals. That being positioning and punishing. Obviously, there's a bunch of extra stuff, right? Habits, right? You don't want to be, obviously you don't want to be doing stuff like fast falling and stuff like that. You don't want to have a dodge habit, right? You want to really mix up a lot, right? Don't be predictable to your opponent. That's sort of like the bonus thing. But I'm telling you, a lot of Brawlhalla literally comes down to just keeping a good position and then punishing. You know why? Because, like, let's say the dodge habit, right? If you have a dodge habit that's really bad, well, guess what? You know what's funny? If you just don't get hit by having good positioning and you're punishing constantly, you only have to worry about dodging because you're never going to get hit, right? So that's why it's the big important thing. That's like it's the most important part of Brawl. Obviously, like, habits and stuff do matter. Your dodge habits, stuff like that matter. Catch that stuff. The best way to catch that stuff is go into replays. Watch your replays and look on why you're getting hit. I have a video about watching replays, right? There's a ton of content out there helping you improve. But this is the main way. The main way to improve at Brawlhalla is learning how to position, how to punish people, right? And getting used to that. When I take the advice seriously, okay? I know I'm making this video super long now, but I just want to get that into your head. Okay. But yeah, if this helped, make sure you like and subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them down below. If there's anything else you want to see, let me know. I haven't been uploading as much. I had a lot of ideas I want to do, and I have recorded a lot of videos, but I just scrapped them. I just didn't feel like they were good enough. I want to try to make really good videos. I want to make them as educational as possible, and yeah. And also, I haven't been able to play the game as much recently. I've had a lot of, like, lag issues. I don't really know. It's like on and off, right? It's usually like if there's a new patch, I can't play at all. It's just so laggy. Even today while I was recording, I was trying to do like some games, I was just lagging, so I haven't been able to do that. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not, so yeah, it's a little inconsistent. And obviously, I don't want to play when I'm lagging, so yeah. Just a bunch of issues like that. I'm hoping to upload a lot more. I think it's been like 8 months, but yeah. So, here we are. Here's the first video back. And yeah, hopefully this helps you.